let me just say that the biggest problem that Caribbean cruise tourism faces is the availability of summer business. The cruise lines have been strategically repositioning ships outside of the Caribbean during the summer. And that is why so many of us in the Caribbean see such a dramatic fall off in cruise arrivals during 6 months of the year. And clearly, for sustainability and viability of the various products, it's much better to have more consistent levels of tourism year-round. So that continues to be a big issue that faces most Caribbean countries. And as we speak, some of the lines are still going through that strategic reorganization as they begin to look at markets globally. The other thing is that a rise in oil prices affect the cruise lines as well. In the past, the cruise line cost of fuel was below the 10% mark. As oil prices have risen, it has gone up more towards the 15% mark. And so cruise lines are doing two things, well, as a result of higher oil prices. They're slowing down to cruise at more optimum efficiency. And as a result, it means they can't cruise as far away from their home port as they used to. So some countries are now finding themselves under pressure because they cannot attract cruise lines which are slowing down and trying to spend, stay closer to their home ports. So those of us in the Eastern Caribbean, for instance, the further east you go, the greater the risk of not getting a call from a ship based in Florida. And that is why it's so important for Barbados to continue developing as a home port. In the Eastern Caribbean, we welcome Barbados' investment and growth as a home port. You have become a very important home port to this region, even though you're still in the early phases of that development. And so the Barbados home port positioning strategically by your government over the last few years has meant possibilities for increased tourism in the Eastern Caribbean, and I just wanted to make that point. We're also hopeful, of course, that the Puerto Rico home port will come back with some level of growth to help cruising in the Eastern Caribbean. In the Western Caribbean, the largest ships are now going to be traversing that area, and of course there's a very exciting new port that has just opened literally a couple of weeks ago in Jamaica, and that in itself will drive new business into Jamaica. So I think the Western Caribbean, you will see probably greater rates of growth, in my opinion, than you will see in the Eastern Caribbean. But overall, the Caribbean will in fact see growth in that winter period, with still some problems of getting a growth in the summer period.